Today we're going to be making a home-style chili, and everything we need is shown right here. The key to a good chili is always going to be in your meat, and today we are using 92% lean ground chicken. The reason that I like ground chicken is because flavor-wise it's a blank slate. And then also because it's much easier to get the lean ground chicken. It makes it to where you can do this on a much tighter budget than if you were trying to use beef. So we're going to use the full pound of the lean ground chicken, and that will be the base for our chili. Okay, now that we have our ground chicken in our pot, we want to season our meat. So a lot of diets, they try and get you to eat bland, unseasoned chicken. I completely disagree with that because the enemy of consistency is blandness. So we are going to make sure that our chicken is packed with flavor. So we're going to use a wide variety of seasonings for this chili that will make it really pop. We're going to start off with salt. Now I know that says pink Himalayan salt, but literally I just took some regular fine grain ground salt and put it in the shaker after the pink Himalayan salt was done. We're also going to use black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Basically just about any type of ground meat dish, if you use those four seasonings as your base, that's always going to be your foundation. And then you're going to build additional flavors on top of that. So to make a good chili, you want to have a nice smoky flavor, and we're going to accomplish that with really two main spices. So we're going to use smoked paprika, one of my favorite spices of all time, and then ground cumin. Both of those will add a nice smokiness to the chili. And then finally we want to add a little bit of heat, and so we're going to use chili powder and then ground cayenne pepper. Those are ultimately the perfect base for the chili. Now, we are going to have something a little extra to finish it off with. This you don't have to do, but it's one of my personal favorite herbs to add to it. Is we're going to add a little bit of cilantro at the end to really make that extra flavor pop. So I'm going to go ahead and season this, and then we will get this pot boiling. Okay, so we've got some nice color developed on there, and now we are ready to add our second ingredient, and that is going to be our rotel. Now, you can use whatever type of rotel that you like. You don't even have to use name brand rotel. I particularly like this kind because I like the flavor of the lime juice and cilantro. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our chili, and we're going to mix it up, and we're going to let that simmer for a little bit, and then we will add our next ingredient. Okay, so our rotel is mixed in, and that's going nicely. We're going to add the final ingredient. Now, this may be a little bit controversial, but we're going to add black beans. Now, the reason why I say it's controversial is some people say, well, if it's got beans, it's not chili, particularly some of our friends in Texas. Well, this is what as I mentioned at the beginning, a home-style chili, which is okay for having beans. The reason why I choose black beans is they tend to not take over the flavor, but they do tend to add a good amount of fiber, which is definitely important when you are trying to make a balanced and healthy meal. So I'm going to mix in these beans real quick, and then we will come back when we are ready for our next ingredient. Okay, so last ingredient we're going to add as far as the base of our chili is going to be reduced fat Mexican blend shredded cheese. You don't have to use the Mexican blend. In fact, normally I just use reduced fat mild cheddar. But whatever cheese you prefer can go in there. I like to use the reduced fat because it lowers the calories by a good bit. In fact, it's about almost half the calories of regular fat cheese. So I like to use the reduced fat. So we're going to be using about a cup of cheese, and that should be perfect for this chili. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in, and then I'll show you the result. Okay, so we've got our cheese added in. We're going to go ahead and just mix it in there and let the cheese melt. So the thing that I like about the cheese is that it does thicken the chili up a little bit. That way it has that nice chili consistency and it doesn't end up being super watery. So we're going to get that all mixed in. And then this is where you do the season to taste that I talked about earlier, because we want to make sure that it has the right amount of flavor. So I think I need just a little bit more cumin and a little bit more chili powder. I'm going to go ahead and add those in, and then we will go from there. Okay, so the extra seasonings have been added in, and we're just going to let this simmer for probably nearly 10 minutes. Just let the liquid reduce and the flavors concentrate, and then we will be ready to add the cilantro, and we will be ready to serve. So we'll see you whenever it gets to that point. Okay, it looks like we're just about done. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of cilantro. We'll mix that up real quick, and then we will be ready to serve. So I'm going to get a nice hearty 400-gram portion of this, and that's going to be my dinner for tonight. Okay. There we have it, our lean chicken homestyle chili with black beans and rotel. This is a perfect meal for the end of the day. Nice, hot, hearty, and it is a great way to lose weight. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this, and stay tuned for more exciting recipes from the Tortoise Principle.